Hello, I'm Gary Lyon and welcome to the 2015 wash-up for the Brisbane Lions. Not a year the club will look back on favourably with just 3 wins. Injuries cruelled them, Damien Barrett, but they never got going.
They didn't. They were dreadful throughout the course of 2015 and how low they've slumped is actually a very big concern for the AFL.
I bet it is. In round 7, I mean, they got away to a shocking start. We all knew that. They had some horrible injuries. Round 7, they knocked off Port Adelaide up there in a win that Justin Lepich described as his best ever as a coach. Now, at that time, Port Adelaide was still considered a genuine contender. I mean, you'll see some faces here. Kane Corn's still running around for Port Adelaide at that stage. He still thought they were still very much in contention. And it was a sizable, substantial win, and we all thought then this might be the one that gets them going, but it never did.
That's your highlight for the year. I've had to dig really deep for mine, Gaz. Daniel McStay, though, I think showed enough to think that there is going to be a future for him. He's a good forward, I would have thought, and in a year where not much went right, he at times played pretty well.
Yeah, he's got some ability. Later on in the year, Freeman came on, so they'd got Michael Close was a kid that they were developing as a key forward who did his knee at Etihad Stadium. So we keep saying it, be patient, but I like this boy. I'm happy with that, Warrior. Lots of lowlights. I didn't like the way the whole James Aish situation was handled. And I know it's a difficult one because we've got the whole issue of whether players go back and do they tell clubs that they're on the market or whatever the case may be. But at different stages, Greg Swan said that it looked like he was going to go, and then he was made a sub, and then he was dropped.
It was very public, wasn't it?
It didn't look like he was getting a massive amount of support, and maybe the club would say, look, it's a difficult situation, but I just didn't quite like that.
Yep. I didn't like the Justin Lepich clash with Zach O'Brien during a NEFL game, Gaz. It was ugly, and look, it played out publicly, but not the way it probably and possibly could have. And he's an aggressive coach. He's got an aggressive captain, and he's an in-your-face captain, Tom Rockliff, and that's fine. And Justin Lepich is backing Tom Rockliff, but both Lepich and Rockliff need to tailor their aggression when it comes to leadership and methods, because it is rubbing some people up the wrong way. Yeah,
good one. Christmas bonus time, and Damo. We're going to be accused of being a Scrooge. I'm giving Mitch Robinson a slab. For a
no, he doesn't need that, Gas.
Well, OK, all right. I'll give him a JB Hi-Fi voucher. Not much more than that, though, mate. Mainly because of this game. Because he came up against his old side and absolutely smashed them. Almost single-handedly. Tackled them into submission. Came out, they absolutely belted them after a quarter time, and he was the best, if not the best on ground, certainly one of them. So, little voucher for Robbo.
Yeah, I'm going to give maybe a 3-pack of Grange to Stephen Martin, the ruckman, Gaz. I say that because he was really good. At one stage he was contending and was in the discussion for All-Australian ruckman. Now that was around about the midway point of the season. His form tapered, but I still think he maintained it substantially enough to get a nice bonus. Yeah,
and you're telling us that he's not guaranteed of being there. In fact, would like to come back to Melbourne.
Contractually bound to the Lions for 2016, but does have a personal reason that would, in his ideal world, have him living back in Victoria where he once played.
Well, as a classic example, that would leave them short with Leuenberger also up in the air, I suppose, but gee, it'd be a pretty handy pickup for those who got a hold of him.
Yeah, who's on your chopping block for the Lions, Gas?
Well, Damo, this is controversial. I want you to picture this. The LA Raiders, when they come charging through the tunnel.
The black and the silver.
There's a bit of a gangster brand of it. The intimidation was everywhere. Not sure Brian the Lion is producing the same intimidatory sort of atmosphere for opposition clubs.
It's a jumping castle.
Look at the little mascot. They're the ones who enjoy it the most. He's having a great time running through Brian.
That's your chopping block.
Get rid of Brian and get back, and because that just gives a festive atmosphere, and that's what it's been for opposition clubs.
OK.
What's yours?
I'm putting Sam Mays on it. High draft pick 2012, top 10, into his 3rd season of footy, and he's gone backwards, guys, it's fair to say. I like a lot of the Lions do. I mean, I hope they keep him for Sam Mays' case, but his case to be kept is less as compelling as it was this time last year, I would have thought.
There'll be takers from Adelaide, don't worry about that. The team needs desperately key forwards and key backs. They need lots. When you're down the bottom, you need lots. But their midfield depth is OK. I mean, Burns out doesn't help as the year goes on, but for me, Key tools, key backs, help out Source Merity seems to be one out. Freeman, as you say, McStay and those boys are coming on okay, but just some key position defenders.
Yep. My suggestion for improvement, James H is obviously on the way out. They just need to somehow instill a system that has young players wanting to stay at that footy club. And the inclusion of Craig Lambert, who's played a very key role in that space at GWS, will go some way toward that. But he's only going to be starting at the club late this year. I think some damage is done on that front already.
All right, we'll do 2016 prediction, up, down, stagnate, Warrior.
Stagnate, guys. I just don't see a lot happening in 2016, so I'm saying around about the same.
I'm going up.
You always go up.
Do not.
I think last year you had 18 teams going up.
That's not right, Damien. Up marginally, not a hell of a long way, but marginally. I think that midfield group will get together and just push them up marginally. Wouldn't be hard to go up after the sort of year they've had. Nice work by you, Damo. That is the wash-up for the Brisbane Lions in 2015.
New Gurney Power Grip. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.